What's up, wonderful people? Welcome back to my channel. So your girl have been missing in action for a little while. I had some back to school business to deal with, and so I decided, to take a little break. But your girl is back with another video. So if you're new here, welcome, and a special shout out to all my returning subscribers. You know I'm always grateful and happy to have you back. So in today's video, I will be sharing with you my process, all that I did to get my study permit and my husband's open work permit approved. So make sure you watch this video to the end. So the first thing I did was research. Like nothing beats researching. And if you're getting information from other people, it is necessary that you confirm the information on the IRCC website. A lot of information is there. So there are some cases like you won't find every single thing or every piece of information on the website, but a lot of information is there enough to get you started. And I know that some circumstance may be different, like mine was a little unique, and so I couldn't get the answers that I needed on the website or even while doing my research. I had to email IRCC for some guidance. So feel free to email IRCC if there are any form of information that you are not getting. If you're not sure about something, that option is always there for you to do. But make sure that you are researching and that you are researching the correct thing that matches your circumstance. So after doing my research, the next thing I did was to decide on where in Canada I wanted to live. For me, this was somewhat easy because my cousin lives in Ontario, Ottawa to be specific. So, I wanted to be close to where my cousin is living so that, he would be able to help me to get adjusted in the first couple weeks or months. And he has been amazing and wonderful. He still is. So I'm really happy that I've decided to come here. But for persons who don't have any family members or friends living here, you may want to do a more in-depth research on certain factors such as the minimum wage, taxes, and the cost of living, how much it will cost you to get somewhere to live. So you may want to look at those factors to help you decide on where will be best for you to live. I also did a video on things to consider before moving here, so feel free to check that video out. The next thing I did was to decide on the school I wanted to attend. So I decided on a school based on my program and also where I would be living. You want to choose to live somewhere that is in close proximity to where you will be studying, so that you don't have to leave out too early in order to be on time for your classes. It really is at a great advantage when you live really close to your school. It makes things really and so much easier for you when you do that. So after deciding on where I wanted to live, the program I will be doing, and the school I will be attending, it was time to submit my application to the school. So please note, it is very important that you have at least your first semester's tuition available when you submit your application. I know on some of the school's websites, depending on the school you will be attending, you may see where it says it takes 8 weeks or more to get a response about your application. But sometimes, well, a lot of times they respond within like 4 weeks. And after you get accepted, most times they give you 4 weeks to make your deposit for your first semester. So make sure that you have your tuition available. If you don't, it is highly likely that you are going to lose your spot. So a lot of persons, when they apply to the school, they think like it's gonna take a while to get a response, and so they weren't thinking about, having the first semester tuition. So it is important to have your tuition ready, so that when and if you are accepted, you will have your tuition available to make your payment. So after receiving my acceptance letter and made my payment for my first semester's tuition, it was time for me to submit my application to IRCC. Now, a lot of persons believe that when they get their acceptance letter, that it gives them approval for their study visa. But you have to submit a separate application to IRCC for your study visa. Now, the first thing I did was to print my acceptance letter. I completed my application form online. You can submit your application online or in person at a VAC office. That's a Visa Application Center. So if you have a VAC office in your country, you can also submit your application in person. For your application form, make sure that your answers are truthful. It is extremely necessary that you tell the truth on your form. So now that I have my form and acceptance letter printed, I got my passport size pictures, my vehicle and house document. You don't have to submit a vehicle or house document. I did that because I thought I just wanted to submit those documents to strengthen my application. One important document that I also submitted was my explanation letter. Now, on the IRCC website, it states that it's optional, but for me, I believe it's a must-have document to go along with your application. Now, this document explains your background, your objective to wanting to study in Canada, and it would also help the officer reviewing your application to make a decision whether to grant you your study permit or to reject your application. So for me, I believe that the officer wants to know why you want to study in Canada, what it is that you're studying. Are you planning to return to your home country? What are your plans? Do you plan to give back? All that information I believe is necessary to submit with your application. Another important document that I submitted with my application was my bank statement. Now, IRCC wants to see that you have enough funds available that will sustain you for your first year, whether it be your accommodation, your tuition, and your food expenses. They want to know that you have the amount of funds required that will cover you for the first year. So make sure that you check the website to see the required amount, so that you have the amount that is required or more. If you don't have enough that is required, chances are that your application will highly be rejected. So that is an important document to have to go with your application. So after getting all these documents, it was time for me to get the documents for my husband for his open work permit application. And that was just like, because it's one application, and we're applying as under one application as a family, most of the documents were submitted as one. So like the bank statement, the house and car documents, those documents were like the same for both of us application. And I got like his passport size pictures, and his certificates in terms of qualification. So all those documents were put together and submitted as one application to IRCC. So now that we have submitted our application to IRCC, it was now time to wait on a response. So after submitting the application, we got an email from IRCC requesting another document. Now this document was a custody order for my first son, as this will be requested if you don't have a permission letter from the other parent. So if you're traveling without one of the parents and you don't have a permission letter, IRCC will request a custody order. So I had some issues getting the permission letter from my first son's dad, and so I had to get this document. Now I needed to go to court to get this document, and it took quite some time for me to get this document. When I finally got it and submitted it in March, it was when I got an automated email saying that they have closed off processing application. And I was like, what is happening? I submitted the application from last year and now this. It was crazy. And it wasn't until in December of 2020 that we finally got approval for the permits and, and visas for the kids. It was a long wait, and the bumpy road never stops, because we, after receiving the permits, the visas, we decided that we were going to travel in February of 2021, and that's when the restriction came. So if you're from the sun destination, you weren't able to travel, and Jamaica is among the sun destination. And again, we were like, what is happening and why? So it wasn't until in December of 2021 that we were able to travel to Canada. And we were like, maybe God was saying that wasn't the best time for us to travel. Maybe December of 2021 was a better time for us, and so that's when He allowed us to travel. And when we look back at it, we were like, it was a bumpy road. Like, it was really a long wait, but we are finally here, and that's what is important. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you find this video helpful as usual. Please remember to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as a video is uploaded. I'll see you next time. Bye.